As a novelist, I probably think about heroes more than most. What is a hero exactly? According to the dictionary, a hero is a person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. I think this dictionary definition is problematic. Kim Jong-un is idealized and admired for noble qualities by many people in North Korea. The same can be said for many murderous leaders throughout human history. Maybe we need a new definition. I personally think a hero is someone who sacrifices for others. They might sacrifice their time and energy or their resources, or they might even risk their life in service to their fellow human beings. I used to think that everyone wanted to be a hero, but I'm not so sure anymore. Heroes should be held up and admired as the ideal to emulate. But who do we idolize today? Celebrities, politicians. We aspire to have their wealth and fame and power. Ideally, we can have the wealth and fame and power without actually having to be very good at anything. Our society worships narcissism, materialism, and power. But a true hero is humble, minimalist, and uninterested in having power over others. A true hero helps others without expectations of recognition or recompense. True heroes often go unnoticed by our society. To many, these people are nothing. They might be old, ugly, unwanted, dirty, and or poor. They probably aren't driving Lamborghinis or riding on private jets. I think a hero is not necessarily a badge you can stamp on a person indefinitely. Heroism is on a spectrum. It's earned every day, every hour. People can act heroically or cowardly depending on the situation. I feel very strongly that there are heroes in every walk of life doing every type of job. Rich and poor, black and white, big and strong, small and weak. Most of these people go about their lives giving of themselves without fanfare, fortune, or recognition. Much is made of the heroism of law enforcement, the military, and various alphabet agents. In thriller novels, the protagonists are very often from these groups. I personally prefer protagonists who are regular people sacrificing for others in obscurity. My protagonists have been truck drivers, landscapers, big box store associates, nurses, teachers, construction workers, waiters, baristas, trash collectors, stay-at-home moms, and farmers. I think I'm drawn to these seemingly mundane occupations because there's honor in providing essential goods and services and infrastructure to society. Without these people, we'd starve in the dark, surrounded by rotting garbage. In addition, many of these occupations are dangerous and done for little compensation. You might be surprised by the top 20 most dangerous jobs in the United States for 2021. The number one most dangerous job in terms of highest rate of work-caused death is tree trimmers and pruners. So basically your local tree guy does the most dangerous job in America. The fatality rate for tree trimmers is 186 deaths per 100,000 workers, or 21 times higher than the average American job. Number 2 is commercial pilots, 138 deaths per 100,000. Number 3 is farm and ranch animal workers. These people earn an average of $32,000 per year, and they die at a rate of 135 deaths per 100,000 from work-related accidents, or 15 times higher than the average American job. Number 4 is logging workers. These people earn an average of $46,000 per year. In 2021, their death rate was 119 per 100,000 workers. But there have been many years in the past when loggers had the highest death rate. Number 5 is roofers, 89 deaths per 100,000. They earn an average of $49,000 per year. Number 6 is first-line supervisors or foremen of farming, fishing, and forestry workers, 62 deaths per 100,000. These people earn, on average, $54,000 per year. Number 7 is agricultural equipment operators, 50 deaths per 100,000. These people earn $36,000 per year. Number 8 is tractor-trailer truck drivers, 46 deaths per 100,000. Number 9 is underground mining machine operators, 41 deaths per 100,000. Number 10 is farm equipment mechanics and service technicians, 40 deaths per 100,000. Number 11 is sailors and marine oilers, 38 deaths per 100,000. Number 12 is first-line supervisors and foremen of landscaping, lawn service, and groundskeeping workers, 35 deaths per 100,000. Number 13 is audiovisual equipment installers and repairers, 28 deaths per 100,000. 14 is painters, construction and maintenance, 27 deaths per 100,000. 15 is construction laborers, 26 deaths per 100,000. 16 is electrical power line installers and repairers, 24 deaths per 100,000. 17 is oil and gas roughnecks, 23 deaths per 100,000. 18 is machinery maintenance workers, 22.55 deaths per 100,000. Number 19 is excavating and loading machine and dragline operators and surface mining, 22.4 deaths per 100,000. And finally, number 20 is plasterers and stucco masons at 22 deaths per 100,000. Most of these jobs have several things in common. Apart from the danger that's borne out in the death rate statistics, most require outside work, hard labor, and the use of heavy machinery and equipment. Most of these jobs pay very little. Most of these jobs are done by men, and most garner very little status in our society. Nobody's thanking the construction laborer for his service, but maybe we should. You might be wondering about police officers and soldiers. Don't they do the most dangerous jobs in our society? This list, which comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, doesn't appear to include police officers and soldiers. So I looked it up myself and calculated the death rates per 100,000. U.S. military personnel, as you can imagine, do have a high death rate. In 2021, the death rate was 71 per 100,000, which would place soldiers at number 6 on this list, just behind roofers. But you might be thinking that 2021 wasn't a particularly brutal year for the military. Surely at the peak of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, the death toll would be much higher. I found records going back to 1980, and the highest death rate year for the military was 2007 with 121 deaths per 100,000. That would put soldiers at number 4 on this list, behind farm and ranch animal workers. Of course, I'm sure death rates would be far higher for combat units than support staff, but I couldn't find that information. Also, suicide rates for veterans are unbelievably high and not reflected in the statistics. In regard to police officers, in 2021, the death rate for law enforcement was 19.5 per 100,000, which was 27th on the list, just behind insulation workers. Regardless of your occupation, socioeconomic status, skin color, gender, height, weight, attractiveness, we all have the ability to be the heroes in our own lives. Imagine that you work for a big box store as an associate, making a little over minimum wage. Imagine that you're not so gifted intellectually, and most people would describe you as ugly. Imagine that you're short and physically weak. Imagine that your family is dysfunctional and you have very few friends. You might be thinking, there's no way you could be a hero, but that's wrong. This fictional person makes countless choices every day. A hero works hard at everything they do, even if they don't have a prestigious job. A hero is honest and kind to others. A hero does the right thing, especially when it's hard, especially when it might hurt themselves in some way, and it would be so much easier just to do the wrong thing. A hero sacrifices themselves to help others. We all have the ability to be a hero in our own stories.